Welcome to Industryville, a bustling town that thrives on its famed hat factory. Today we will explore this factory, its workers, and the local government to help us understand relationships between different characters in the economy. Before we start our tour of Industryville, let's get acquainted with our new unit. This unit aims to help you understand the intertwined and often conflicting interests of three major forces that shape American society: labor, business, and government. Throughout this unit, we'll explore how these conflicts have evolved throughout American history. This exploration will include specific examples of instances when the government has sided with businesses and when it has sided with labor. As we explore these topics, we will continuously circle back to our unit essential question: to what extent has the relationship between the government, private businesses, and labor changed over time? This exploration will be grounded in our primary themes for this unit: choices and consequences, power, and the role of government. Throughout the unit, we will connect these historical themes and events to our present-day experiences. As we tour Industryville today to kick off our unit, we'll focus on three guiding questions. What do workers want? What do businesses want? And what does the government want? And throughout our journey, we'll grapple with an essential question: why is there tension between labor, business, and government? We've found ourselves in Industryville's busy hat factory. The workers in this factory represent what we call the labor force. In economic terms, labor refers to the work done by people. It's the human contribution in the process of producing goods and services. Laborers usually desire better working conditions and higher wages. They aspire for their workspace to be safer, cleaner, and healthier. They hope to earn a wage that doesn't just cover their basic needs, but allows them to grow and thrive. In addition to these aspirations, they seek steady employment and opportunities for career advancement. Returning to Industryville, a group of hat factory workers realizes that despite their hard work, their wages have remained stagnant, while the cost of living in Industryville has steadily risen. These workers approach the factory owner, Mr. Profit, as a collective group requesting a wage increase to keep up with their increasing expenses. This action represents laborers using their power by working together to pressure management. The workers believe they deserve fair pay that recognizes their hard work and contributions to the factory's success. After all, they are the ones actually making the hats. The desires of our hat factory workers are the same as laborers throughout history. But as you may guess, these desires might not always align with the factory owner's aims. Let's pause and answer the guiding question: what do workers want? Meet Mr. Profit, the owner of the bustling hat factory in Industryville. He represents business in our story. Mr. Profit owns a business that makes and sells hats. The factory, the machinery, the workers, and the materials he uses to produce these hats are what we call the means of production. This refers to all the things that go into making goods and services. Like most business owners, Mr. Profit aims to maximize his profits. How does he do this? One strategy is to keep costs as low as possible. This includes the wages he pays to his workers. By minimizing costs, Mr. Profit can increase the difference between the money he makes from selling hats and his costs. This difference, or profit, is what allows Mr. Profit's business to grow, innovate, and compete in the market. Now let's get back to our wages scenario. From a business perspective, this request is a challenge. Higher wages for workers mean higher costs for Mr. Profit, and higher costs could mean lower profits. Mr. Profit, therefore, may feel compelled to resist this wage increase to maintain his business profitability and sustain his growth. Mr. Profit worries that if his profits drop down too much from the increased wages, then he will be less competitive in the market and possibly have to close the factory. He tells his employees that it is better for them to have a job at all than to worry about a pay raise. From his perspective, this is not about being unkind to his workers, but rather about preserving the health of his business. In our next section, we'll add another character to our story by exploring the role of the government. But first, pause here to answer the question, what do businesses want? Now let's turn our attention to Mayor Balance. She is the leader of Industryville's local government. While we're all familiar with the idea of a government, today we'll focus on its role in the economy. So what does the government want? Well, a key aim for any government is a stable and thriving economy. A government, whether local or national, can greatly influence the economy through policies and regulations. These could involve setting fair business rules, supporting industrial growth, ensuring safe work environments, managing public services, and ensuring the health of their local economy. Pursuing a stable and prosperous economy is important because it enhances the quality of life for citizens. When businesses succeed, they create jobs and contribute to the community's wealth. When workers earn fair wages, they can purchase goods and services, which in turn stimulates further economic growth. However, the interests of labor and businesses sometimes conflict, and the government may find itself having to take a stance. Let's circle back to our wages scenario in Industryville. From the government's perspective, this situation presents a dilemma. If the workers' demands are dismissed, strikes could ensue, potentially destabilizing the local economy and disrupting the social order. However, if the government imposes higher wages on Mr. Profit, his business might struggle and he might have to fire many of his employees. This is where Mayor Balance comes into play. The local government might establish wage regulations, or perhaps mediate negotiations between Mr. Profit and his employees. So, if you were in Mayor Balance's shoes, how would you approach this situation? Who would you side with? Pause here to answer these questions, as well as our guiding question. What does the government want? Let's take a moment to understand why these three groups, labor, business, and government, might find themselves in tension with each other. The workers at the hat factory want higher wages and better working conditions. But increasing wages could cut into Mr. Profit's earnings, potentially leading to a decrease in business profit or even job losses. This puts Mr. Profit and the workers in direct opposition to each other. As for Mayor Balance, her aim is to ensure the welfare of the community, but she also has her own interests. She needs to maintain the support of her citizens to win the next election. This means she needs votes from the labor force, but she also needs financial support for her campaign, which often comes from successful businesses like Mr. Profit's Hat Factory. Mayor Balance has to juggle the government's responsibilities and interests. Whichever side she chooses could escalate tensions between all three groups and have unintended consequences. You'll explore some of the possible outcomes of this scenario in your PDF. The conflicts and compromises between labor, business, and government are not merely historical footnotes. They're an ongoing part of our world, even today. As we delve deeper into this unit, we'll examine how these tensions have played out over time, from the factories of the Industrial Revolution that we'll study in our next lesson, to the digital workplaces of the 21st century. So think about what hat you'll choose to wear as you have to decide between labor and business. And until next time, keep making history. Hey.